Have you ever wondered if the simplest path to better heart health lies not in complex diets or strict meal plans, but in something as small and crunchy as a handful of nuts? Many seniors over 75 find themselves inundated with confusing and often conflicting nutrition advice. It's no wonder that you might feel unsure about which snacks are genuinely beneficial and which ones might do more harm than good. Especially when it comes to heart health, the stakes are high. But rest assured, there are delightful snacking options that can nourish your heart without making you feel deprived. Today, we'll explore 5 heart-healthy nuts that can bring both comfort and peace of mind to your daily routine. Even if you've been watching your diet for years, you may discover something refreshingly simple and surprisingly tasty about these tiny nutritional powerhouses. It's easy to get caught in the "I'm too old to change now" mindset. After all, you've spent decades forming eating habits and preferences. But here's why giving these nuts a try matters. They're packed with good fats, vitamins, and minerals that can support cardiovascular function, something that becomes even more crucial as we age. Think of it as choosing foods that love you back. With just a small tweak in your daily snacks, you could be fortifying your heart in a way that feels joyful rather than restrictive. And you may find you don't have to let go of the treats you've come to enjoy. Instead, you can embrace new flavors and textures that complement your diet while caring for your most vital organ. Over the course of our time together, we'll talk about 5 specific types of nuts, each with its own unique taste and remarkable heart benefits. You'll see how these little bites can be woven into your day without overwhelming your grocery budget or your sense of pleasure in eating. We'll also explore why some common myths about fat and calories can hold seniors back from discovering the best possible snack options. By the end of this conversation, you'll have a clearer picture of how these nuts can nourish not just your body, but also your sense of well-being. My goal isn't to overwhelm you with endless facts. It's to gently guide you towards snack choices that could make a world of difference for your heart health. I've spent years working in holistic wellness, focusing on how seniors can maintain an active, vibrant life. One thing I've consistently seen is that small, enjoyable changes often have the largest impact in the long run. For many older adults, adding a handful of the right nuts each day has led to higher energy levels, more consistent heart function, and a newfound sense of satisfaction with food. If you're feeling ready to learn more, stay right here. We're about to dig into 5 of nature's tastiest heart boosters. And along the way, you'll hear stories of real seniors who found comfort and delight in upgrading their snack game. Before we dive in, feel free to think about your own go-to snacks. Maybe you'll spot a simple swap or addition that makes you smile. Let's begin by tackling a common misconception. Many older adults worry nuts are too high in fat or calories to be safe for regular snacking. Perhaps you've thought the same. But as you'll see, not all fats are created equal. The nuts we're about to explore come with plenty of healthy fats, ones your body can actually use to support better heart function, along with fiber, antioxidants, and key minerals. So join me in discovering the first of these marvelous options. Some seniors assume almonds are a diet food with no real flavor or satisfaction. This misconception often comes from outdated beliefs that healthy snacks can also be enjoyable. You might say, "I remember my doctor mentioning almonds decades ago, but I never imagined they could be truly tasty." Consider Helen, a 78-year-old grandmother who spent much of her life believing almonds were bland. She'd eat them reluctantly because someone told her they were good for her. The turning point came when she decided to toast them lightly in her oven, adding a dash of cinnamon. The change was astonishing. Not only did she finally look forward to snack time, she noticed she felt fuller, and her energy levels between meals improved. Many of us think of almonds primarily as a source of protein. While that's true, the heart health benefit lies largely in their high concentration of monounsaturated fats, the same type of good fat found in olive oil. These fats can help maintain healthy cholesterol levels, potentially aiding in the prevention of plaque buildup in your arteries. Additionally, almonds supply magnesium, which plays a role in blood pressure regulation. Over time, stable blood pressure can make a significant difference in your overall cardiovascular health. The beauty of almonds is their versatility. If you're worried about digestive challenges, start small. Maybe 5 or 6 almonds a day. and see how your body responds. For some people, soaking them overnight makes them easier to chew and digest. If chewing is an issue, almond butter on whole grain crackers or apple slices can be a comforting option that still delivers heart-friendly nutrients. Beyond their physical benefits, there's an emotional reward in knowing you're treating your body kindly. Each bite is like a small act of self-care. You might be thinking, I'm not sure how to incorporate almonds into my daily life. An easy first step is to keep a small container of lightly salted or unsalted almonds on your kitchen counter. Whenever you feel peckish, grab a few instead of reaching for processed snacks. Or top your morning oatmeal with slivered almonds for a satisfying crunch. If you enjoy cooking, experiment with almond flour for baking. It can add a richer, nuttier flavor to your favorite muffins or pancakes. The key is to make this shift gradual and enjoyable. Helen found she no longer dreaded snack time. In fact, she began to anticipate the warm, nutty aroma of her toasted almonds. Within a few months, her daughter noted how Helen seemed more upbeat. A simple nut had transformed her snack routine into something joyful. While Helen's story is personal and individual, you may find parallels in your own experiences. It's these small, manageable changes that bring a newfound sense of comfort. And knowing that each almond you eat can help your heart thrive? That's a beautiful bonus. Before we move on, consider how you might experiment with almonds in a way that feels inviting. Could you sprinkle them on your salad at lunch? Or maybe dip them in a bit of dark chocolate for a sweet treat? If you want to share your ideas, I'd love to hear how you make almonds a part of your heart-healthy journey. For now, let's shift our attention to another fantastic option that has an entirely different flavor profile, yet offers powerful cardiac benefits. When thinking of walnuts, many seniors dismiss them as either too bitter or too high in fat to be practical. This belief has kept some from exploring what walnuts truly offer. Take Roger, who is 80 years old and has a sweet tooth. He avoided walnuts for years because their earthy taste didn't appeal to him. However, Roger was also concerned about his cholesterol levels, so his granddaughter, a nutrition student, convinced him to give walnuts another try. She suggested blending them with dates to create a naturally sweet energy bite. Roger was pleasantly surprised that the flavor he once disliked turned into something mildly sweet and rich. Walnuts boast a reputation for their omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid ALA. This is a type of fat that the body can convert to support healthy brain function as well as heart health. While fish like salmon are often credited as the best source of omega-3s, walnuts come in a close second for those looking for a plant-based option. This can be especially comforting if you don't enjoy fish or are seeking variety in your diet. Research has also hinted that the antioxidants in walnuts might assist in reducing inflammation, a factor linked to many chronic conditions, including heart disease. A practical way to enjoy walnuts without the bitterness is to roast them lightly. If you're up for experimenting, toss them in a bit of olive oil and sprinkle with a pinch of sea salt before popping them into the oven for a few minutes. This process mellows out their flavor and brings out a toasted, buttery quality. Or consider chopping walnuts and mixing them into your morning yogurt or even a fruit salad. Their crunchy texture contrasts beautifully with soft fruits like pears or bananas, turning a simple dish into a satisfying treat. It's not just the physical impact that makes walnuts worthwhile. There's also a psychological boost in feeling like you're doing something proactive for your health. Many seniors worry about heart conditions after a certain age, and that worry can become heavy. By regularly including walnuts, you're engaging in a simple, reassuring habit that can help ease those concerns. It's a small but significant step toward feeling more in control of your well-being. For Roger, the real game changer was seeing his cholesterol levels improve over time. While walnuts alone weren't a magic bullet, he also stayed active by gardening and kept up with his regular checkups. He noticed an overall sense of vitality. He looked forward to those sweet walnut date bites, which felt like an indulgence rather than a chore. And it's this sense of comfort and enjoyment that helps make healthy eating sustainable. If you're curious about walnuts but still skeptical about the flavor, start with a small portion, maybe 3 or 4 walnut halves a day. Pair them with foods you already love. If the taste is still too strong, consider blending them into a smoothie with a banana for sweetness. Over time, you might find yourself developing a taste for their rich, hearty quality. Think about how you might introduce walnuts into your next snack or meal. Are you open to trying new recipes, or would you prefer a simple sprinkle on top of your oatmeal? Your approach can be as adventurous or as straightforward as you like. Now that we've seen two wonderful options, I'd love to hear which one piqued your interest more. Does the idea of a cinnamon toasted almond call out to you? Or are you intrigued by the sweet walnut date bites? Feel free to reflect on how you might bring a bit of flavor and comfort into your snacking routine. Up next, let's dive into a nut that often surprises people with its vibrant color and subtle sweetness: pistachios. A common myth about pistachios is that they're just candy. Perhaps you've seen salted pistachios packaged like junk food, or recalled a time when they were dyed bright red. This commercial presentation leads many seniors to assume pistachios have no real nutritional value. Meet Deborah, age 76, who used to pick pistachios off a bakery pastry for fear they were unhealthy or filled with artificial dyes. She was stunned to learn that naturally, pistachios are a beautiful shade of green and come packed with nutrients that can contribute significantly to heart health. In reality, pistachios are rich in protein, fiber, and a variety of antioxidants. Studies have pointed to their potential to help maintain balanced cholesterol levels. They're also a source of vitamin B6, which supports everything from brain function to immune health. Most importantly for many seniors, pistachios contain a good amount of monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the types of fat that can support a healthy cardiovascular system. The crunch they provide is an added bonus for anyone who appreciates texture in their snacks. One of the best ways to enjoy pistachios is by buying them in their shells. It might seem a bit inconvenient at first, but shelling them slows down your eating pace, giving you time to savor each piece and potentially preventing overeating. Deborah discovered this approach when her daughter began sending her pistachios in the shell for the holidays. She found the process of shelling them almost meditative, a small ritual that grounded her. Each time she popped one into her mouth, she felt a pleasant burst of flavor, milder than peanuts but more distinctive than many other nuts. If you're worried about salt intake, look for unsalted or lightly salted varieties. For those who enjoy a bit of a flavor twist, you can even find pistachios seasoned with herbs like rosemary or thyme. Another option is to chop pistachios and sprinkle them on top of a side dish. Think of a sprinkle of vibrant green nuts over mashed sweet potatoes or roasted vegetables. Not only do you get a burst of color, but you also add a layer of crunchy, heart-healthy goodness. Beyond the nutrient content, pistachios offer an emotional uplift too. Sometimes simply looking at a bowl of these cheerful green nuts can be inviting. It breaks the monotony of typical brown or beige snacks. And there's something inherently satisfying about the act of cracking open a shell to reveal the treasure inside. When seniors feel that their snacks are both tasty and beneficial, it fosters a sense of self-care and optimism. Deborah found that she liked to have a small dish of shelled pistachios in the late afternoon, a time when she used to reach for cookies. Over time, she noticed she felt less sluggish in the evenings. Her daughter even commented on how Deborah seemed more lively during their phone calls. Little changes can have a ripple effect. Whether you enjoy them straight from the shell or sprinkled over your favorite dish, pistachios can be a bright, heart-friendly addition to your diet. Are you beginning to see a pattern? Each type of nut we've explored so far brings unique flavors and nutrients to the table. Yet they all share common benefits for your heart. If you've tried any of these already, how did you enjoy them? Feel free to think about any creative ways you might combine these nuts for a diverse snack mix. Next, we'll move on to a nut that often evokes images of sweet southern pies, the pecan. Pecans may be most famous for their starring role in sugary desserts, which causes many seniors to believe they're too indulgent. The idea that pecans are exclusively dessert nuts can stop people from appreciating their nutrient profile. Let's look at Henry, a 77-year-old retiree who had a long-standing love-hate relationship with pecans. He adored pecan pie, who doesn't, but worried about the sugar and calorie overload. Over time, he realized that while the pie itself might be a special occasion treat, pecans on their own are actually nutrient-dense and beneficial for the heart. Pecans contain a notable amount of monounsaturated fats. These are the same heart-friendly fats found in olives and avocados, often praised for helping maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Pecans are also rich in antioxidants, which can help mitigate oxidative stress, a factor linked to heart disease. And let's not forget about their fiber content, which supports better digestion and helps you feel satisfied, reducing the temptation to overindulge in less nutritious snacks. If you've only experienced pecans as part of a sugary dessert, consider enjoying them in simpler forms. One approach is to lightly toast them and mix them into a salad with baby spinach, sliced apples, and a simple vinaigrette. The toasting process intensifies their natural sweetness without turning them into a treat that spikes your blood sugar. Henry's favorite method is to keep a small bag of toasted pecans within reach during the day. Whenever he feels the urge for something crunchy, he pops a few in his mouth. He finds this strategy far more satisfying than grabbing a processed snack full of empty calories. Emotionally, branching out from the traditional pecan pie can feel liberating. You realize pecans can be enjoyed more frequently without the guilt. This sense of freedom often translates into a more positive relationship with food in general. Instead of associating pecans solely with holiday feasts and tight waistbands, you can see them as part of a heart-focused lifestyle. You might be wondering if it's okay to have these nuts regularly, given their calorie density. Moderation is key, of course, but small daily servings, like a quarter cup, can fit comfortably into most diets, especially when you're balancing them with fruits, vegetables, and lean protein sources. Always be mindful of your overall diet and consult a healthcare professional if you have specific concerns about weight management or medication interactions. Henry recalls that after a few months of including pecans in his daily routine, his cravings for less nutritious snacks decreased. He felt more stable energy levels throughout the day, and his doctor noted improvements in his cholesterol profile. While that's just one individual experience, it aligns with what many holistic wellness practitioners have observed. If you're still skeptical, you might consider combining pecans with other types of nuts or dried fruits to create your own trail mix. That way, you get a variety of flavors and nutrients in one go. Pecans can also be ground up and used as a crust for fish or chicken, offering a flavorful and heart-healthy alternative to breadcrumbs. As you can see, there's more to pecans than pie. Now let's continue on to a nut that often has a luxurious, almost tropical reputation: macadamias. Don't let their creamy texture fool you. They might be exactly what your heart needs. You might think macadamia nuts are too fancy or expensive to incorporate into your daily diet. They do have a reputation as a high-end treat, often associated with gift baskets or gourmet recipes. This perception can make seniors feel they're an impractical choice. But meet Linda, a 79-year-old who discovered she could find small packets of macadamias on sale at her local grocery store if she shopped strategically. By limiting her serving sizes and savoring each bite, she turned macadamias from a rare splurge into a more frequent heart-healthy indulgence. Macadamia nuts are particularly high in monounsaturated fats, the kind linked to supporting healthy cholesterol levels and possibly reducing the risk of heart disease when consumed as part of a balanced diet. They also offer essential minerals like manganese and thiamine, contributing to energy metabolism and overall wellness. Their buttery, almost melt-in-your-mouth texture feels decadent, which can be a refreshing departure from more common nuts. Don't be fooled by their richness, though. When enjoyed in moderation, macadamias can align beautifully with heart-conscious eating. For those worried about the cost, consider buying them in bulk or looking for sales. Because these nuts are so flavorful, you may find that a small handful satisfies you more than larger quantities of other snacks. Linda discovered she could chop a few macadamias and sprinkle them over her morning cereal or oatmeal for a pleasing crunch and luxurious taste. This approach made the bag last longer while still letting her enjoy the benefits. One emotional hurdle might be the idea that indulgent foods can't possibly be healthy. It's easy to assume that anything so rich must be off limits. But macadamias challenge that notion, offering a gentle reminder that healthy eating doesn't have to be dull or joyless. Incorporating them into your routine can actually enhance your food experience, giving you a sense of nourishment and comfort at the same time. Physically, the high content of heart-friendly fats can play a role in maintaining flexible arteries and balanced cholesterol. That said, be mindful of your serving sizes to avoid consuming too many calories at once. A good practice is to portion out a small serving in a container rather than eating straight from a large bag. This helps you enjoy macadamias consciously, savoring each bite rather than mindlessly munching. Linda noticed a meaningful difference in how she felt about her snack time once she introduced macadamias. Instead of feeling like she had to settle for bland, healthy foods, she could treat herself in a way that supported her heart health. Over time, this small shift in her mindset affected other areas of her diet too. She became more open to experimenting with vegetables, fruit-based desserts, and other nutrient-dense foods. By now you've seen how each nut, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, pecans, and macadamias, brings its own flavor profile and set of heart-supportive nutrients. They all fit beautifully into a snack routine focused on comfort and well-being, rather than restriction and guilt. If one type doesn't appeal to you, perhaps another will. The beauty is in the variety. Now that we've explored 5 incredible nuts, let's take a moment to reflect on how these small, tasty additions can build toward a larger picture of heart health. Maybe you've already identified 1 or 2 types you'd like to bring into your kitchen. Or perhaps you're feeling inspired to try all 5 in a rotating snack schedule. The key is understanding that every small choice you make has a ripple effect. One handful of pistachios might not transform your life overnight, but regularly incorporating these nuts can gradually bolster your cardiovascular wellness while keeping your taste buds delighted. For many seniors, time is a precious commodity, and so is energy. You don't want to spend hours meal planning or counting every calorie. By focusing on a few nutrient-dense foods like these nuts, you create a straightforward system for boosting your heart health without adding stress. Think of it as a gentle, comforting form of self-care. Over time, you might notice improvements like steadier energy, a lighter mood, and perhaps even a more positive conversation at your next doctor's appointment. The reality is that we can't escape the aging process, but we do have the power to influence how we experience it. When you feel you're actively nurturing your body, it's easier to maintain a sense of independence and confidence. Small steps, such as adding a few walnuts to your cereal or savoring a macadamia as an afternoon treat, can accumulate into meaningful changes that help protect your heart. And the best part? You won't feel like you're missing out on life's little joys. If you're feeling a sense of urgency, good, that means you're ready to take action. The time to start is now, not next year or the year after. Even if all you do today is add a few almonds to your routine, that's a powerful first step. As you build from there, you might branch out to walnuts, pistachios, pecans, and macadamias, or any other heart-healthy foods you've learned about. Each addition is like a puzzle piece, forming a bigger picture of a well-rounded, vibrant lifestyle. To make this easier, consider writing down a simple plan. On Monday, try almond butter on your morning toast. On Tuesday, sprinkle crushed walnuts over a salad. On Wednesday, enjoy a small bowl of pistachios while watching your favorite show. By Thursday, perhaps you'll add toasted pecans to your vegetable side dish. And on Friday, celebrate with a few macadamias. This rotation keeps things interesting and helps you figure out which flavors you truly love. If you're already feeling adventurous, share your progress with a friend or family member. Invite them over for a nut tasting party or swap recipes to see how they use these ingredients in their own kitchens. You might even inspire others in your community to take small but meaningful steps toward better health. And if you want additional guidance, consider speaking to a healthcare provider or their nutrition coach about how these nuts fit into your overall wellness plan. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a final thought. You've spent a lifetime gathering wisdom, nurturing relationships, and adapting to change. Now, by choosing heart-healthy snacks that also bring joy and comfort, you're reminding yourself and the world that it's never too late to embrace wellness in a new way. Each day you nourish your heart, you affirm your commitment to a life well lived. There's real power in that. And remember, your best investment is always the care you give to yourself. Here's to enjoying every crunchy, satisfying bite.